Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And I had explained before in another live or told y'all in another live that I'm going to be starting a playlist on passive aggressive language. And basically, I'm using that word to say someone that speaks and is speaking very loudly without saying a lot. Okay. So I had explained in the video or on the lives that I did before. I've already started the playlist. So you can go in my playlist and you can see that I have already began a passive aggressive playlist, and I will be adding this video to the playlist. So if you are planning on going into like a line of work where you're going to be like a police or detective, or you want to avoid more narcissists and you want to learn how a lot of empathic people will speak through not saying a lot, then it will help you as far as that goes too. So I'm going to bring up this first example. Okay. Seasoned police officers, they will be able to solve a lot of cases. Seasoned police officers and detectives, they will be able to resolve a lot of cases by understanding passive aggressive language and understanding the personality of a person. Okay. So I'll give you an example. When my middle son had got in some trouble and there was a warrant out for him to arrest him. It was a felony warrant. And I did. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The detective and the police knew that I had hid my middle son in my garage. Okay, I did. An undiagnosed psychopath or not, I did that. I don't want any of my family members in prisons or jails. So my emotional part of myself, being a mother, I hid him in the garage. And I just did. So the seasoned police officer, he knew it. He knew that my middle son was being hid out in my garage. This was years ago, y'all. 2-3 years ago, this happened. So what the police officer did, he understood passive aggressive language and he understood that I'm that type of person as well. So what he did, he knew I was a non-felon. So he told me, he said, well, Miss Irene, if you don't tell us that Elijah or your middle son and you know, guide us to him, we know he's in your house, then we're going to come back tomorrow and file felony charges on you. So the detective and the police, he was a detective and a police, very seasoned. He had dealt with me before. He knew me. So he knew that I would give my relative up by pre-warning me that he would come back within 24 hours with another warrant to get me because I am harboring someone that they want to arrest due to a felony warrant. Okay. And I knew that officer to knew that he was going to do his job and do that. I did not doubt it wasn't just a threat. If I would have continued to break his boundaries, that seasoned police officer, one of my favorite police officers, y'all, if I would have continued to break his boundaries, he would have done just that. Within 24 hours, I would have had a felony warrant for me to be arrested as well for hiding a fugitive. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense. Hello, y'all. Thank you so much for coming into the live. This is going to be a great video for you to learn what someone's really saying. Okay. And I gave the example of the policing example of how the police was able to use the criteria that I'm a non-felon to get me to tell and to release a potential felon to them. Okay. And it worked. It worked. It worked 100%. So that will be one of the first things on my list that I will be going over. And if you are interested in entering the field of policing, law, you want to be a detective, this will be a great video for you to tune into. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have a Facebook page or something like that, share this video right now. You might have 1,000 Facebook friends. And if you share this video right now, they'll get to like, share, and subscribe, and they can watch this live as well. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. I thought of the felony example, and the policing system and police and detectives can use that same criteria if you're someone that only has had one felony. So say someone had one felony and is 20 years old, 10 years old. The police could have used that same tactic because they know that that person does not want another felony on their record. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So the example I'm going to start with would be this. This will help you ask less questions because empathic people, they use a lot of emotional thinking, okay? And a lot of times they ask questions that are not thought out enough because they don't understand what someone is saying passive aggressively. And in this sense, when I say passive aggressive, you're saying it without getting aggressive or violent, but it does not mean you're angry about it. So when I use the word passive aggressive, it does not always mean I'm angry. I'm just passively, I'm saying what I'm saying through my actions. Okay, like right now, do I need to say that I like uploading lives on YouTube? No, you can see that I like and prefer uploading live videos by me continuously uploading them. Okay. I'm showing you that that's a part of my routine and my lifestyle, doing lives on YouTube. Right now, I'm doing a live. So I don't need to come on here and say, hey, y'all, I like doing live videos. I'm showing you that by consistently uploading lives. Please like. There's a few of y'all in here. Please like now. It helps YouTube and the algorithm. Even just giving me 2 likes will get me more views because YouTube will alert more people that the live is going on outside of just my subscribers and other viewers, regular viewers. Okay. So anyway, this example would be a sister that thank you so much for the like. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions right now on passive aggressive language, you can ask the question in the chat. I'll answer questions first. And you're welcome to communicate in the chat and ask whatever question you want. I was told by another Scorpio that I am passive aggressive and assertive. And I would have to agree with this finding. I'm not trying to change it. Oh, my day is excellent. ITZZ Loon 4. How's your day going? I'm happy to hear that my day is going well too. How's your day going? Thank you so much for the chat. So aggression, excellent. I'm glad it's doing excellent. So when someone's aggressive, they're punching, fighting, they're overtly cursing you out. They're being more aggressive. But when someone's passive aggressive, they're speaking volumes without saying a lot. Okay. And to understand it best, like I said, this video is a great video if you want to get into the legal field, you want to get in law, you want to become a detective, you want to get into policing work. This video will be an excellent video for you because it will help you know more information that would help you solve your cases. It will. So to understand what someone is saying passive aggressively, okay, you will have to get out of judgment mode. You have to stop thinking that they're doing it the wrong way. They don't know what they're doing. You will have to get out of judgment mode as quick as possible. Okay. If you stay in judgment mode, which means you're judging them, you're thinking that what they're doing is the wrong thing. So you're kind of when you judge someone, you're more in your emotional state of mind. Judging someone is not logical always. It's a judgment, and if it's not used with logic, it's an emotional feeling that will drive you to read the person wrong, and it will also lead you to a lack of understanding of what's really going on. And people will do it with me because I know empathic people, they have emotional empathy. And also, if you're the type of person or someone is the type of person where they're just driven off one part of something and they don't have enough emotional empathy for the total problem. So, someone that's highly narcissistic, they're only having emotional empathy in a certain area. Me being an aware empath, I'm able to have it in more than one area. Okay, well, have a great day. Whoever just left the chat that you're leaving, just watch the live later. No problem. You can watch the live later and replay it. Okay, I release the live to the public as soon as it ends. Okay, so the example I'm going to start with was a sister. She has empathy, and it's for kids. Okay, so she has empathy for kids. And they're my relatives. These kids are my relatives. But that's not enough empathy for her to understand the actual circumstance. Because the best empathy is to have it for everyone involved. And I told y'all in another live, watch those kind of people where they have a lot of empathy for kids, but they don't have it for adults. Adults deserve empathy too. An adult is at a higher risk of getting killed or murdered or seriously injured than most kids. That's just being honest. So be careful of people that just have empathy for the kids. They're dangerous. Okay. They're not purposely being dangerous, but their lack of logic will put the adults and the kids in a dangerous situation because they don't understand domestic violence. So let me see. Someone asked a question. When does passive aggressive go too far? Meaning how much to take from others? Passive aggressive language, it goes too far when it's being used to purposely torture you. Okay, so when someone has a vendetta and they've decided to get revenge on you, okay, and if it's being used by an actual narcissist. So that's an excellent question. Oh my God, I love this question. So let me see who asked this good question. Hold on. I love that question because that's something I wasn't going to mention in this video. Desmond Calvert, 822. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you are not already subscribed because I needed that question. Oh my goodness, I needed that question. Because I have some notes here, and that's something that wasn't in my notes to cover, but it's actually a very good thing that I should mention. See, I'm passive aggressive, but I'm not a narcissist or a psychopath. So when passive aggressive language or passive aggression goes too far, it's when someone has a vendetta against you and they're getting revenge and they don't have emotional empathy. There's no emotional empathy that they have for you or the other people. And they're doing it on purpose. It's not necessarily their nature. They're doing it on purpose, and they're using aggressive tactics with the passive aggression. Because you can use both. I can even use both, but I tend not to. I could be physically fighting and passive aggressive after the fight. So it becomes dangerous when they're using passive aggression and they are being violent and they're getting revenge. They have a vendetta against you. It's on purpose. They got in their journal what to do to you Friday morning. And if you bring it to their attention and they continue to do it. So passive aggression can go too far when like for example, the Scorpio gentleman that told me I was passive aggressive. He told me this last year at the end of the year. And it's true. You know, at first I was like denying it, but actually it's a good lady skill to have because I'm not punching him and threatening him and saying I'm gonna beat his butt and all of that. Okay. And over time, over the years, he was able to figure me out and see that I'm using it as a problem solving system. And it keeps me out of trouble. But yeah, passive aggression goes too far when it's being used as a constant revenge, which that won't be the reason I'll use it because I'm not a narcissist. Okay. I'm not a psychopath. So I'm not using it as a revenge tactic. I'm using it as a form of protecting myself. Okay. So if they're not using passive aggressive, aggressive language or passive aggression, if they're not using it to protect themselves, then it's gone too far. I use it as a way of protecting myself, and it's always being used subconsciously, whether I realize it or not. So I'm going to start with this example. Okay. So a sister, she noticed over a couple of years that I had not made a call to speak to some children that are my relatives. Okay. Now I had pointed out to this particular sister that both people that have custody of the children got aggressive with me during a funeral period. Okay. Both of them showed the aggression, not passive aggression, direct threats or not passive aggression. Okay. So I'd explained to this sister that that's what went on, and she noticed I didn't return any calls for a couple of years, or not return calls. I don't make contact because I'm not contacting these people. They're not contacting me. Now, the gentleman that was involved with some passive aggressive threats, he did apologize. Okay. But the lady that he's with, the one that threatened to bash my head in, she never apologized, and I never spoke to her again after that threat. She's basically a stranger to me. This lady, I met her one time at a funeral. We were not formally introduced. So this stranger threatened to bash my head in. So this particular sister, you know, she's empathic. She don't mean no harm. She's just not thinking it through. You know, and I want to teach you how to think it through so that you don't ask questions like this. See, if you understand passive aggressive people, you won't ask certain questions because you'll have more insight as to their personality. And to understand someone's personality, you have to not look at financial things. A lot of people, they can only read your personality if you got a couple of $1 million houses. To understand passive aggressive language and what someone is really saying and how they're protecting themselves, you have to not look at financial stuff. You have to separate the financial lifestyle from what someone is really saying. So 2 years I didn't make contact. So the sister calls and she wants to know why. You know, why haven't you called? It's not something I would do. It's not in my repertoire for me to ask someone why they are not contacting people that the adults have become violent with them. But I have a greater understanding of passive aggressive language. Okay. And I have a greater understanding of aggression and domestic violence. So all you got to do, if you told me that and I teach about narcissism on this channel, and I explain my experiences. Thank you so much for the 67 mark, Pojada. So I understand domestic violence and narcissism, and I have a channel. Okay. So I learned from my channel as well. Okay. So if you told me that there was some threats from adults and they have custody of some children, all you got to do is mention threats, and I understand why you're not making the contact. It's not a question I would ask. Okay. But everyone is not like me. Okay. Everyone is not like me. Okay. And everyone won't think like me. Okay. And let me look this up. What, 67? I think that means like I agree with you, right? Is that what that means? Because I just want to make sure. Hold on. I'm gonna, because someone keeps putting in the chat 67. Um, it can suggest it's like an inside joke. Okay. Okay, so 67 doesn't sound that bad. But so you're saying that this is nonsense, what I'm saying? This is the thing. Okay. It's saying it's nonsense. Okay, Desmond Calvert, thank you for letting me know. Oh, it's trolling. Okay, so Mark, stop doing that, because one of my viewers has explained to me what it means. Thank you, Desmond Calvert. So Mark Pajada, stop repeatedly typing 67 before I block you. I don't want to block you, so stop doing that, because it's a distraction on the live. And the thing is, other people come here to actually learn something. Because Mark Pajada, this is the thing about, I'm not trying to brag, but before this live end, you gonna learn something that you didn't already know. Because check this out. What I'm getting ready to teach you, I ain't learned from nobody. It's the Lord gave me this to teach you. So, Mark, I just told you to stop putting 67, dog. Stop typing that shit before I block you. What the hell? I've never blocked anybody. Stop typing 67. You want to be blocked? Stop doing that. What's nonsense is what you typing. I guarantee you're not a police or detective or anyone that works in law enforcement. I explained in the beginning that no, Desmond, check this out. Desmond Calvert, I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. Don't take this as anger. I'm being authoritative because this is my channel and they're being a distraction. I'm not that. I'm just being firm and stern about what I mean. Anger is not really my nature like that. I rarely get angry. And one of the reasons I'm not angry, Desmond, is you know why I'm not that angry? Because you told me what it meant. I feel very grateful. Thank you, Desmond Calvert, 822, for telling me what it meant. But I keep these trolls out of here because I don't play no games with them because I'm going to block them. You see, he stopped. You got to get pissed off with these fools for him to stop it. You see, he stopped. So see, being nice to people don't always get them to stop. Whoever that nigga was stopped it, and he a nigga, ignorant ass. That's how you get a motherfucker to stop. You see that bitch stopped. I use my aggression. Now that's an example of aggressive. I'm not being passive aggressive right now. I'm being aggressive. I didn't block the fucker. He stopped it on his own, Desmond, because for one, you told on him. Thank you for that. And I wasn't trying to give him a high by being angry. People always think Scorpio is angry. We ain't angry, y'all. You ain't seen me angry yet. I'm not angry. I'm just taking control of this channel so that y'all can learn. This is an important lesson I'm getting ready to teach. Like I said, if you want to be in law enforcement, you want to avoid more narcissists, you want to get into like detective work, you want to be more keen and mindful and intelligent, this video is going to help you. Yeah, so he stopped without me having to block his ass. Thank you for the thumbs up, Desmond Calvert, 822. Yeah, he stopped without me blocking him. I promise you, I didn't click on block. I've never had to block anybody. I normally, hey, this is a time you get angry, I guess. Yeah, but that bastard stopped it. And that's a dummy. That's a dummy. And he gonna stay dumb. Okay, you don't get smarter that way. He'll never have a channel and he'll always be a dummy. Okay, you can call me mate. That's cool, Pajada. But, you know, if you keep it up, yeah, that's better. You're improving. Call me mate. I'm cool with that. You British or something? Because I know what mate means. Mate's not a bad word. Mate means friend or whatever. I'm cool with mate. Just stop typing mate over and over. You don't have to type mate 3 to 10 times. Do you have Tourette's syndrome, dog? Stop typing that over and over, for real. I have anxiety. Stop typing that shit. Stop typing 67 and okay, mate. You're what? You're Albanian? Well, I'm an American. I was born and raised in the United States. So watch the news on how Americans act. Leave me the fuck alone. Anybody that's living in the United States of America ain't got good sense. We're very intelligent. You can learn something from us, but stop fucking with me on this live. You just did it again. One more time and I'm gonna block you. I'm not going to keep talking to you. So Desmond Calvert, 822, thank you so much, beautiful. And beautiful can be for a man or a woman. It can be for a man or a woman, okay? I'm saying you have a beautiful soul. Because you alerted me, even looking up what it meant, it didn't explain it enough online the way you are. Yeah, so anyway, and Mark. Okay, Mark Pajada, thanks for the apology. I appreciate it. But you want to learn something here. I got something to teach you so you can apply it in your country. Okay? I want to teach you something. You obviously angry about the country you in or some, dog. Dog mean cool. We buddies. Okay, dog in America means we cool. We good. Okay. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, the sister asked me, if I had made contact with these particular children, and I told her no, I had not. But she knows that there were some threats of violence and stuff like that. And it's been a couple of years, like 2 years, and I have not made contact. So to understand how a person thinks and their passive aggression, their aggressive language, hold on, let me say this to Mark. Mark, I'm not making fun of the country. That's not my nature. I'm not doing that. I'm just only going off of what you're showing me. You're showing me a lot of unhappiness. Okay. So you're really screwing up the live, and please stop it. No more. Listen. No more comments. Because I don't want to have to block you. Okay. So just please stop it. And the reason you should stop it is so you can learn. Okay, thank you. No problem, Mark. I want you here. Don't you see I want you here? I'm welcoming you here all the way from another country. And you're making it very hard for me to welcome you. And I apologize too. Okay, I didn't mean to cuss at you and stuff like that. But you know how Americans are. It's the reason y'all don't come over here starting wars with us and standing outside our doors talking mess to us. You know how we are. I'm born and raised in the United States. We're brave. We're really not punks over here. Okay, so please stop. I welcome people from all countries. I'm not racist. I'm not racist at all. I'm welcoming you all the way from your country. You're being racist because you're leaving these troll-like messages on a live, and I'm in the United States. So you're the one that's acting racist. I have people here from all over. Okay, bye, Mark. Pajada, you have a great day, bro. Take care. And really mean bye. When you do the little yellow wave and bye, be gone for real. I'm not going nowhere because I'm doing a live, dog. So I'm not going nowhere because I'm going to be on this live. You go somewhere. Go get you a YouTube channel. Instead of clicking on this chat to lead this toxic stuff, go get you a channel, dog. Find you something to do over in your country. I welcome all countries. I have people coming in here from the United Kingdom, the Middle East. Give me a freaking break, and they love me. And they always come back too. But they're not acting like you. You're being very disrespectful. So anyway, going back into the passive aggressive language means you're saying it without saying it. The sister, she had contacted me wanting to know if I had initiated any calls to contact these children. And I told her no, I had not. So you want to avoid these type of questions if you can, because in a subtle way, it's somewhat in a subtle way disrespectful of someone else's choices, right? So you don't want to be in the habit of contacting people that are full-blown adults, questioning them on why they don't contact people, especially if you know that there's been any aggression or any threat been involved. If there's any aggression and you see one or more parties backing out the situation and not calling, that's the best outcome for the situation. You want the best outcome for the situation, okay? And me, how I live, because I understand passive aggressive language, I will be least likely to question people about what they're not doing or what they're doing. I believe this. I believe as an adult, you know what's best for you. Um, I don't mind giving input sometimes if appropriate, but if I see you doing something consistently, and you're a full blown adult, I'm going to trust that you know what you're doing because you take care of yourself and you provide for yourself. Okay. So you want to be very careful of things you ask people, especially when they're not your children. Okay. And I'm not calling. I have not lost the phone numbers. I still have the phone numbers. Okay. So I'm not making contact with these adults or these children. For one, I do not want to stress these people out through my calls. Okay. Even if I am calling to be nice, even if I am calling to talk to the kids, when I call those people, they seem extremely stressed out. And I do not want to bring that to anyone's life. Okay. So the number one reason, okay, so I'm teaching you how to understand someone that is very, very passive aggressive. Okay. So when I don't call the kids, this is what I'm saying. Okay. Number one, I'm saying this. I'm a non-felon. Number one, this is the statement I'm making. I'm a non-felon. I have not ever entered prisons or any prison. And I do not want to end up there because I'm communicating with people that are threatening me first and being mean and cruel. Okay. And someone that only had one felon can use the same rule, this number one rule. Say someone only had one felony and they never got another felony. What they're saying is, look, I don't want another felony on me because I done had to go kill somebody or hurt somebody. I don't want to be in no war zone. So that's number one. But in my case, I never had a felony, or it's a conviction. You know, sometimes if you murder someone, you do a robbery, any form of violence, money laundering, embezzlement. Sometimes those type of crimes will lead you into what they call a felony conviction in the United States of America. I don't know what other countries call it, but in the United States of America, they call it a felony. Okay. You will be a convicted felon. So that's number one, what I'm saying. So passive aggressively, I'm saying I'm a non-felon. I'm going to stay a non-felon. I don't want to deal with these people. Number two, passive aggressively, what I am saying when I do not contact these children is that I am a domestic violence survivor and I no longer engage or interact with any males that get violent or allow other women they around to get violent with me. Because remember, the female threatened to bash my head in over the phone and the male allowed it. The gentleman that has custody of the kids, he didn't protect me in any way. So number two, I'm saying passive aggressively that I'm a domestic violence survivor, not a lady that's trying to become another domestic violence victim. I'm out the domestic violence game is what I'm saying. I'm saying all of this by the calls I do not make. I'm teaching you how to read passive aggressive language and what they're really saying. Number three, I'm also saying that no matter what they buy in or what they own, I view these as ignorant niggas, right? So niggas can be white, black, they're just ignorant to me. They begin with aggression. They don't think before they get aggressive. So I'm saying that I don't care if they moved in the White House. Passive aggressively, I do not contact these kids because I don't want to deal with the adults because I'm saying they niggas to me and I'm not interacting with niggas. I'll contact a Negro or some black people, but when that woman threatened to bash my head in, she's a nigga to me. So passive aggressively, I'm saying I don't deal with niggas. I contact black people and Negroes, okay? So number 4, what I'm saying passive aggressively is I don't want to be in a situation. I'm not contacting these kids or adults because I don't want to become dangerous, and I'm controlling any homicidal nature that can come out of me at a later time. It goes back to the number 1, non-felon. I'm a non-felon, never been to the penitentiary. So number 4 on the list, what I'm saying passive aggressively by not contacting these children or making any phone calls to the adults, I'm saying I don't want to be in no homicide stuff. I don't want to be the one to commit a homicide, and I don't want to be killed. So now I did accept a call from the gentleman the end of last year. I answered his call and I accepted his apology. I'm not mad with him. This video is to teach you what someone is saying passive aggressively. Okay. So number 5, what I'm saying passive aggressively is, for one, I'm saying there's someone else's kids, and someone else's kids don't come first in my life. I do. Okay. So passive aggressively, the sister is asking me, why don't I contact these kids? In a passive aggressive way, I'm saying they're not my kids, and I come first, and the kids that's in my house come first. You just as well include that as well. So number 6, I'm also saying that I have a busy schedule. So when you know I'm not contacting these kids and these violent adults that got aggressive with me over the phone, and they were very unfriendly with me in person as well, very unloving and unfriendly, and I'm fine with it. But I don't roll with these kind of people. So I'm also saying number 6 on the list, I'm passive aggressively saying I actually have a busy schedule and I have more to do with my time than to contact some kids that some violent people have custody of. Okay. Number 7, I utilize the word narcissist when this particular sister doesn't like the word. Okay. She doesn't like the word narcissist. Okay. So she will be at a disadvantage. Okay. Because she doesn't use the word narcissist, her and I will not think the same. So narcissist just means someone with that lacks emotional empathy. So because I like the word and she doesn't, and I have this channel, I will be more, I will be maybe a little bit more experienced and savvy. Okay. I might be wiser. Because I use the word narcissist, I will view things from a more mature perspective. Yeah, so that's number 7. Yeah, so I don't want to take chances on a narcissist. So that's number 7. So when I'm not contacting these children, see, if she understood more passive aggressive language, she would have never asked me, why am I calling the children? Or why aren't I calling the children? A detective would not have asked me this question, but she's using emotions. So she asked me the questions because she's coming from a perspective of emotional thinking. Okay. So, okay. Number 8, passive aggressively, when I do not contact the kids or these adults that have custody of the kids, I'm also saying, I do not obey or want to be bothered with people that threaten me first. So it goes back with that. I'm a domestic violence survivor. So number 8, I'm saying I do not obey or want to be bothered with people that threaten me first. Okay, so that's number 8. Also, number 9, when I do not contact the kids or these adults, I am actually respecting the people that have custody. They said no, they don't want me to talk to the kids. So I'm actually, in a passive aggressive way, respecting the wishes of the man that has custody of the children. Okay, because he said no. Okay. Number 10, what I'm saying passive aggressively by not contacting these kids and the adults that are their caregivers, I'm saying that I allow the Lord to decide how the future is going to play out with the children. Okay. I'm also not saying I hate the children. I'm not saying I hate the children. I'm just saying the situation is under the Lord's care. Okay. So when I do not contact the children or the adults that have them, I'm saying that passive aggressively as well. Okay. Number 11. This may be a hard one for y'all, but I've talked about this on my other lives. I have a criteria for the type of kids I interact with as well. Okay. And I prefer very spiritual and kids. Okay. I get along with them better and I have a better outcome. So, as an aware empath, I actually have a criteria for the type of kids that I'm around. Okay. Remember, this is Advanced Insight Channel. So I have a criteria of what kind of children I interact with and adults. I have a standard. Okay. So number 11, when I do not contact these kids or these adults that are the custodians and caretakers of the kids, number 11, what I am silently saying, passive aggressively, is that when I met the kids, I didn't feel comfortable. Okay. One of the children, when I asked him how he was doing or feeling, he kept his back turned to me. So number 11, when I do not contact these children or the adults that have them, passive aggressively, I'm saying I don't really feel comfortable with the children. Okay. So that's number 11. Number 12, when I do not contact these children or adults, I'm also saying that I don't want to raise any more kids. Okay. When someone is not actively contacting kids, they're saying they don't want to raise them or don't want to raise any more. Okay. So also, I'm someone that's no longer around little kids in the home. I have a certain level of freedom that I just don't want to give up. You can include that in number 12. I don't have preschoolers, young teens, youth. I don't have those age. I don't have toddlers in the home anymore and stuff like that. So number 12, I guess you could say I don't want to raise any more kids and I like my situation. Okay. So I'm passive aggressively saying that. Number 13, passive aggressively, I'm also saying that I would like to stop a family curse. And it stops with these kids' mother, right? I'm stopping a curse. The curse stops. The mother of the children is now deceased, and I want to protect myself from an ongoing family curse. And the family curse would be me and those children fighting and not getting along. Okay. I just don't, I dealt with it enough with the kid's mother. And I don't want to inflict any harm on the kids, and I don't want the children harming me. So number 13, I want an end to it. Okay. Um, so I just don't want to be in the game. I don't want to be blamed for the stuff neither as well. I'm showing that I'm tired of being blamed for other people's problems. I don't want to be blamed if they get on drugs, they go in and out of prisons. I don't even want to be blamed if they have a beautiful life. Don't give me credit if they have a beautiful life. Don't blame me if the kids end up having a pretty rough life. I don't want to have anything to do with the curse, whether it's a curse or a blessing. That's number 13. Okay. Number 14, when I do not contact these children or the adults that or their caregivers, um, I'm leaving a legacy behind when I do this. Like for example, the male relative that kept his back turned to me. Um, he remember that I approached him, okay, and he will understand and may respect me for it later. Because he might say, I remember she came to talk to me and I kept my back turned to her. She don't like rude people. He might end up being highly intelligent and being the one that this young child may respect me a whole lot later. Okay. He may respect me. He might come to me and ask me one day. I remember at my mom's funeral, you said something to me. I remember I didn't turn around and say anything to you. And I next thing I know, you never called me again. What's going on? I can be honest with him, and he might learn something from me. He may actually respect me later. Okay, so that's number 14. And also, he didn't meet my standard of the type of child I like to interact with. Like I said, normally I'm around kind of spiritual kids. So I definitely didn't put him in the category of a nice person. Okay. And this is something a lot of adults won't do. This is why we had the one mom and grandma that got murdered and they chopped her up and cooked her on a barbecue grill. See, you got to know the game when they kids. So if you say, okay, this is a mean child, let me bounce up out this situation, then you won't be the black lady that later on when they grow up, you the one they barbecuing on the barbecue grill. Okay. So number 15, when I do not contact the kids or the adults that's taking care of the kids, number 15, in a passive aggressive way, I'm saying, I know those kids gonna be narcissists. They're gonna lack emotional empathy, and I do not want to be bothered with any new narcissists. I ain't gonna be around when they grow up. Okay. So number 16, what I'm saying passive aggressively when I do not contact the kids or the adults, I'm saying they're not holy children. So for me, it's not worth it. Okay. That's number 16. Number 17, when I do not contact these children or the adults involved, I am saying I am not messy. I have a peaceful life in general. In general, I live in peace. So I'm not hunting down things that seem not to be that peaceful. Number 18, when I do not contact these children or the adults that are their caregivers or custodians, I'm saying I'm controlling what I spend on others. So I'm basically choosing, when I do not contact these children, I'm choosing to not have these children in my financial budget. I'm not going to be giving them anything, donating anything. These children and their custodians are not in my budget. Okay. Number 19, when I do not contact these children or the adults that have custody of them and that are their caretakers, I'm saying number 19 is I have already received logical advice not to pursue the kids. and legal advice. I've already spoke to a lawyer about the situation. I received logical advice and legal advice, and I am following that advice. Okay. And this logical and legal advice is being given to me by an attorney that knows me, that and family members that know me and love me and have my best interests at heart. People that don't want to see me in the penitentiary or getting into fights. So I'm following logical and legal advice. Also, I am following therapy advice. When I don't contact these kids or adults, I'm following good therapy advice that I received many, many years ago. And a little therapy advice that I got within the past year. Sure have. So I was online speaking with a therapist, and I ran this situation across the therapist. So I was validated, and I have a very good support system. So current therapy advice within the past year and old therapy advice. I will follow this advice because I trust my therapist and my attorney and family members that love me over niggas that are threatening me. Okay. Number 20. I'm passive aggressively saying this when I do not contact the kids or the adults that are taking care of the kids. Number 20, I'm saying I have already perceived that there will be a bad outcome and I don't want to be involved in it. Okay. Number 21, when I do not contact the kids or the adults that take care of them, I'm also saying in a passive aggressive way that I have priorities here in the state that I'm in. Okay. And these priorities do not involve these children. I have determined that I'm going to live my life without these children being my priority. Okay. And it's okay to do this because the children, they're in the custody of a man that makes good money that wants to take care of the kids. Okay. And he's their blood relative. So in some sense, I'm saying I trust him to a certain degree. So I'm saying that those children are his priority. Okay. And the children I have in my home, no matter their age, they're my priority. So I'm stating boundaries and understanding as a Scorpio lady, I understand what my priorities are. Now, the rest of the world may determine in their mind that a Scorpio priorities should be something else. And that's the narcissism people have. People, and it's been happening my whole life. People determining what a Scorpio is supposed to be doing. Okay. When a Scorpio is best fit to know what we should be doing. We know what we should be doing. We're a very responsible sign. We're a fixed sign. And there's always somebody that we willing to take a bullet for. Okay. I may determine I'm not supposed to be taking the bullet for those kids that I'm not contacting. And that's because that Scorpio that's taking care of the kids, he can take the bullet for those children. Okay. So, Scorpios in general, we love children. We do. So number 22, when I do not contact these children or the adults that take care of them, I'm saying I don't feel like I will be able to negotiate with the people that has custody of the kids. I feel like they will be quite controlling and violent and aggressive, all the things that they've already showed me that they are. And I don't want to be bothered with that type of situation. Okay, that's number 22. Number 23, what I'm passive aggressively saying when I do not contact these children is that the children are not my Lord, and neither are the people that have custody of them. I'm saying passive aggressively, I pray to someone much higher and who I pray to, the one most high, understands that the spirit of the one most high is my priority, and that these kids or the adults that take care of them are not my Lord. So I don't need to contact them because I'm not contacting the Lord. Okay. Number 24, when I do not contact these kids or the adults that take care of them, my empathy keeps me away. Like I said in the beginning, I don't want to stress these people out. So the fact that I have emotional empathy towards the adults that became very angry when I asked to talk to the kids, I'm saying, that I feel bad for them. I don't want to make them upset. So, number 25, what I'm saying passive aggressively when I do not contact these children or the violent adults that got aggressive with me, I'm saying that I don't want to be in a CPS world. Okay. I understand that when you're taking care of children and they got deceased parents and they got parents that's in and out of prison, there usually will be CPS cases, and I'm just done with the CPS world. I don't want to have anything to do with CPS cases. That's number 25. Okay. I wrote a list, y'all, of things I came up with. Okay. So, and this sister, she didn't put much thought into this. She didn't write down a list of why she shouldn't ask me, why am I contacting these kids? She's just not communicating in the passive aggressive language. She's communicating in emotions. Okay. So number 26, I don't contact the kids or the adults that are taking care of the kids because I don't trust the custodial caregivers. Okay. I don't trust that they're going to talk nice to me if I call. I don't trust that they're going to care about me ever. I don't trust them. Okay. Once the lady threatened to bash my head in and the Scorpio gave me the little passive aggressive threat, I lost trust for them. I did. So number 26 is I don't trust them. So I don't trust them. That's just it. So number 27, when I don't contact the kids or the adults involved, number 27, I'm saying that I believe in the Lord's justice. So I believe in the Lord's understands me and them. So I believe that the Lord will handle the justice because I did the right thing by initially contacting the children, and the Lord will respect me for that. The Lord knows my intentions. So I'm trusting that the Lord knows my soul and their soul. Okay. It may very well be in my best interest for the kids not to be in my life. Okay. So number 27, I trust in the Lord's justice. The Lord will judge all parties involved, and the Lord will keep us all safe. Okay. So I am not contacting the kids or the people that have custody of them. Number 28, I'm staying out of the way of the whole situation so it can keep me calm. Okay, so I want calmness in my life. Something that you can have a lot when you ain't got a bunch of violent people around. And I ain't calling the kids baby kids. Please forgive me. But they not my kids. So there's less baby kids and less adults that used to be baby kids when they was little. Okay. So I'm avoiding all of that. When I'm not contacting the kids or the adults that have custody of them, I am being an obedient child. That's number 29. This one will be complicated because I'm saying I'm being an obedient child. Okay, so this is how this works. My auntie Bertia, she was a Catholic. So she was passive aggressive. She loved me a whole lot, right? And she came to me when I was 15 years old and asked me if I want an abortion. She told me that I had an option to get an abortion, okay, with my firstborn daughter. So number 29 complicated because it's like, I'm being an obedient child. So in this sense, I'm kind of like a child to my auntie Bertia. She's passed away, but she's passed away. Welcome back to the live, to whomever just came in the live. So my auntie Bertie has passed away, and I did not have an abortion. I actually had my daughter when I was 15 years old. I was a teenager, and I had my daughter. But when I say I'm being an obedient child, is now I get to see the outcome, right? So if my auntie Bertia could come back right now, and me and her could sit and talk. She was a woman filled with logic. And she asked me, how you feel about an abortion now? I would say, Auntie Bertia, I didn't get the abortion, but I am getting ready to abort the situation. I'm going to abort this situation and get out of it. Okay. So, I'm in obedience because, see, when I was 15, I was in disobedience because I was under heavy neglect. Okay. Heavy neglect from many adults. Okay. But there was a couple of people that wasn't neglecting me. However, I do believe with a better parenting style and having a mother and grandmother that was not so neglective, that will help with teenage pregnancy. It really does, because I don't have any teens that have babies, because I'm not as neglectful, and not all neglectful. It ain't all parents' fault when they children get pregnant at a young age. Some of them are very supervised. Okay, but you can't stop a child when you at work from sneaking a teenage lover through a window in your house. Okay, some of them are just gonna do whatever they want to do. But in my case, I feel like because of the extracurricular activities that I really love, like dance and acting and tap dancing and stuff like that, color guard lessons, because of the love I had for activities, if I wouldn't have been so neglected, especially when James passed away, it could have prevented teenage pregnancy. And I don't believe I would have been a teenage mom if James would have continued to live out his days. Okay. However, James died when I was only 13 years old. So may he rest in peace. I'm not mad at him. I'm just stating that that does affect and did affect my life. So number 29, I do not contact these children or the adults that are taking care of them, because I can now see why my auntie Bertia was asking me if I wanted an abortion. I get her knowledge. She allowed me to learn the hard way. Okay, so because of her wisdom, I'm aborting the situation. I'm a jump ship on it now, because I get what you're saying, Auntie Bertia. Here I am decades and decades later, and because I did not have an abortion, I am now being threatened by my child's relative and girlfriend. Okay. His threat, wasn't so violent like hers. I mean, the woman threatened to bash my head in, but it's all connected to the child I did not abort. Okay, so Auntie Bertia was a smart lady. So it's not too late for me to take heed to Auntie Bertia's advice. Okay, so I am an obedient child, Auntie Bertia, she was there holding me when I was born. I was laying in the bed with her when I was 6 months old, a year old. This is a lady that's like a mother to me. Okay. She's one of my mothers in my life because my mother was very neglectful. Auntie Bertia was there for me at times my own mother was not around. Okay. So, along with her daughters. Um, okay. So, yes, number 29, I'm an obedient child. I'm an adult now, but I'm obedient because I get what Auntie Bertia was saying now. She loved me and she only asked me if I wanted an abortion because she know how niggas are. She know how this shit gonna come out. She know niggas and she know that she know how they roll. Auntie Bertia, she had been abused a little bit. She know. But she respected the love I had for the Lord, and I don't believe in unaliving babies that's in my stomach. I believed at the time they should come here. Okay. Do I regret the decision? No. If I had to do it all over again, I would still have my daughter. Nobody can convince me to kill my born, not even my Auntie Bertia. However, I do understand that the advice that she gave, Auntie Bertia, giving me my choices at the time, letting me know, she just wanted me to know that abortion existed. Okay, that's it. Auntie Bertia was very kind to my daughter. She was. I decided to have my daughter, and she showed love towards my daughter as well. However, she brought the abortion option up. I'm older, and I'm understanding why she did it. And I'm aborting the situation as of now. I'm grown. I'm an adult lady, and I could say, Auntie Bertia, I see why you asked me that question. Now I'm being threatened to get bashed in my head. See, none of that would be happening. I'm not trying to be funny here, but if I would have took her advice and had the abortion, these people that came in the situation later because I didn't have an abortion, they wouldn't be threatening me because I would not have any contact with these people because the child was aborted. But I did not abort the child. I do not regret not aborting the child, but I am going to abort the situation, okay, that's going on. So I hope that makes sense. That's number 29. Number 30, I do not contact these kids or the adults or their caregivers because I am not naive of the horrible outcome. Okay. I'm not a naive person. Okay. I understand how far threats can go and how that can, when you don't follow your intuition, not to get out of a situation. So I'm not naive to that. Okay. I do not contact these kids or the adults that have custody of them because number 31, I know me better than anyone. And no other adult knows what's best for me. And I'm confident with that. So I know what's best for me. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that passive aggressively. Remember, all of these 31 things, just by me not making a phone call to ask to talk to the kids or the adults that are taking care of the kids, I'm passive aggressively saying all of these things. This is number 31, what I'm saying passively aggressively, just by not making the call. I'm speaking volumes through not making the call. Okay. And I was questioned about why I am not calling. Okay. So I'm not calling because of these things. Okay. Number 32, when I do not contact the kids or the adults involved that are taking care of the kids, Number 32, I'm saying that I am controlling my temper. Okay. I have grown. Took me an anger management class decades and decades ago, and the anger management class worked. So I'm controlling my temper. So passive aggressively, when I don't contact these kids or adults, number 32, I am controlling my temper. Also, when I don't contact these young, beautiful children and the adults involved, number 33, I'm passive aggressively saying of my freedom. Yes, indeed. 33, I love my freedom. Okay. Number 34, I am in a passive aggressive way saying, when I do not contact these kids or the people that take care of the kids. Number 34, I feel or get a sense that those children will betray me later. They'll be sort of like their mama was. Okay. They'll betray me later. It's no betrayal if I don't get to know them. Okay. Okay. I got to know their mama, and that was enough. I don't want to be too much around the offspring of somebody's kids that they mother already betrayed me. So in a passive aggressive way, which would be number 34, when I do not contact these kids or their caregivers, I'm saying that I feel like the kids will betray me. Okay. So I'm willing to allow now let me tell you this. I'm going to explain this. If the children decide to betray the Scorpio man that is taking care of them, despite his meanness towards me, I will not support the kids in that. If the kids can't say they've been raped, beat, they ain't got no real story about why they betraying the Scorpio man that's taking care of them now and the lady that he has helping, I will not support the kids in betraying their caregiver. I will view these kids as being very ungrateful, and I will view it as if I predicted what they was going to do anyway. See, if I feel like these kids will betray me, that means they're going to be ungrateful, right? So if I feel like these kids going to betray me, they will also or could also betray or turn on the people that are taking care of them right now. Okay. Now, some kids, will have some justified reasons why they're doing that. I mean, if the kids are abused, they're being molested, beat up, the step parent involved is mean, things like that. But I'm just saying I am empathic. So if the kids basically express that the Scorpio man that has custody of them and the woman is kind to them and they just turn on him, I will not support those kids' behaviors because I don't like disobedient children that betray their good parents. Okay. The children will have to provide some real evidence and tell me about something that's really going on for me to say, okay, I see why you're betraying them. Okay. So that's how I feel about that. I'm not in support of betrayal without just cause. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. But for me, number 34, I feel like these kids will betray me. I don't contact these kids or the adults that have custody of them because I can feel in my soul that these are the type of kids that will betray and be very ungrateful towards anybody that takes care of them. And you know what makes them great? When you don't take care of their ass. It's kind of like how the love that some kids will show to their crack addict parents that abandoned and neglected them. Oh boy, a daughter or son will love a crackhead or crack addict mama or daddy that didn't do a motherfucking thing for them. They'll love them. And I'm not talking about the crack addict parents that took care of their children. I'm talking about the ones that didn't do nothing. Okay. And they love them. They just love them. So, number 35. I am passive aggressively saying that I want to salvage my relationship with the children for later. So I'm hoping that by me staying out the situation as of now, maybe later when the children become young adults or older adults, maybe they'll have an interest in having a relationship with me because it's not really destroyed fully because I'm not fighting with the kids and around for the kids to betray me. So I'm salvaging any potential good that could come out of it by staying away. So number 35, that's what I'm passive aggressively saying. I would like to salvage the relationship for later if it's meant to be, if the Lord wants it to be that way. And so I am not going to contact these kids as of now or the adults involved. So that's what I'm saying passive aggressively for number 35. Number 36, when I do not contact these kids or the adults that have the kids, I'm saying I am not a foolish lady in general. And I don't care if people think I am making a mistake. I'm showing confidence in my decision making. So number 36, passive aggressively, I'm saying I'm making a Scorpio move. I know what I'm doing. That's my move. Stay out of it. It's my business. If I don't want to contact them, I don't want to contact the kids. That's what I'm saying. So I'm asserting my decision and I'm standing confident in it. Okay. That's what I'm saying by not contacting these kids or the adults that take care of them. I am not a foolish lady. Because remember, I'm giving all these reasons because a sister asked me, why haven't I contacted the kids? Okay. Oh, that's a quote I wrote. Okay, so number 37. I am not contacting these kids or the adults that are taking care of them because I'm passively aggressively saying in number 37 that I am showing abusers, like the adults that are taking care of them, that I don't need nothing from them. So I do assert my boundaries over abusers, and I have a certain way of speaking with abusers, and I do treat abusive people different than non-abusers. I don't treat abusers the same as I treat non-abusers because it won't work. An abuser is this way, and they have this type of personality over here, and a person that's not an abuser has this other type of personality. So when that lady threatened to bash my head and the gentleman that's with her was telling me I better get up out the state or something gonna happen, I'm showing these abusers that I don't need nothing from them. Okay, not a damn thing. So that is the way I communicate with abusers. I'm showing these abusers, you're not my parents. I don't know y'all. Y'all stay over there, I'll stay over here. So I'm saying passive aggressively when I do not contact the kids, I'm showing the abusers that I don't need them or any kids they taking care of. I'm not showing hate towards the kids, but I'm just showing the abusers. I'm sending a message to the abusers that, for one, you're not gonna bash me in my head. Two, I ain't gonna be coming back down there for you to do nothing to me when I come in the state. I'm not gonna be around. And if I do go to that state, I won't be letting these abusers know. So that's what I'm saying, number 37. I'm showing abusers that I don't need nothing for them. I show this to all abusers. I've told y'all my story and testimony, even going through custody battles, parental alienation. And that's one of the things. I don't need nothing from my ex-husband or the children that was in the custody battle, except to get up out my face. I don't need nothing. I always show abusers I don't need them. And I started this behavior when I was a teenager. The first person I showed that I don't need anything from them is my grandmother. I don't need nothing from somebody that's fighting me or that's neglecting me. I don't need nothing. I don't need their money. I don't need to stay in their house. I don't need to call them. I don't need them. So I am very good at showing abusers that I do not need them passive aggressively. I don't want nothing from you. Okay, that's number 37. Okay. When I do not contact the kids or the people that's taking care of them, I am also saying for number 38 that I'm okay and that I feel like the Scorpio male that has them is protecting me from the storms. So also what I'm saying for number 38 is that I respect the leadership of a Scorpio man, okay? And that I'm thanking him from a Scorpio female perspective for keeping me out of the storm. Okay, so when a Scorpio man way out of state don't prefer me to contact the kids, from another Scorpio, I'm saying thank you, sir. Okay, so number 38, I'm passive aggressively when I don't contact the kids or the adults that's taking care of them. I'm actually showing a great amount of respect for the man that does have custody of them. Okay. They may not view it that way, but I'm actually being respectful because I do not have custody of these children and I do not want custody of these children. I'm also showing that too. I'm also respecting him because he's a Scorpio that has custody, but I'm a Scorpio that don't want custody. Okay, so I'm respecting the Scorpio male nature to take care of his children. Okay, it's his job to do so. It's his job to provide as well. Okay, and Scorpios are good with that. Scorpio men, they will provide for the children. If they got to go pimp a woman out to provide for their children, if they got to go build an airplane to provide for their children, if a Scorpio man got to go rob a bank to provide for his children, he will do all of the above to provide for his children. That's just the truth of the matter. So I give kudos for that. And I'm passive aggressively not contacting the children because I'm respecting the Scorpio man that's taking care of them. Okay. So number 39, when I do not contact the kids or the adults that's taking care of them, I'm being humble. Okay. Number 40, I'm passively aggressively saying I'm a happy person. Hey, I got a YouTube channel. I might not have time to be contacting any children. Okay. I'm a happy lady. Number 40. And genuinely I am. Nothing will be perfect, but in general, I'm a happy lady. People think that having a bunch of kids around is what makes you happy. No, you got to find happiness in a deeper form. If you're relying on kids to make you happy, you're going to be miserable later. Okay, so I'm happy now. Number 41, when I do not contact the kids or the adults that are taking care of them, I'm breaking this stereotype. Okay, the stereotype can be, since I've had half a dozen children, I'm breaking a stereotype that I like kids so much and that I want more of them. You know, sometimes when you've had a dozen, half a dozen, 20 children, you know, people, they kind of stereotype you. They don't see you as being much else. So at number 41, I'm passive aggressively breaking the stereotype. Like, get me out of I want some more baby kids category. Get me out that category right now, please. So number 41, I'm passive aggressively, because the sister that contacted me about calling these kids, she's only had a couple of kids that she's raised. I've had half a dozen to a dozen kids. So I didn't even help keep some kids that ain't my biological kids, y'all. Um, so so I actually, hold on one second, y'all. Daniel? Okay, just checking on you. I hear a lot of sirens out there. Where are you at? Okay. So because I cleaned up down there. Okay. So you gonna come back up here? Okay. Because I'm doing a video. Okay. Because I left it clean down there. Okay. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to check on the family, y'all. When I'm on a long video, remember I still gotta check on the family. So number 41, I hear a lot of police sirens outside. So I don't know what's happened, but when you hear police sirens, you want to check on people in the house, y'all. So number 41, yeah, I'm breaking the stereotype. You know, the sister that asked me, am I contacting the kids? She only has given birth to a couple of kids, like 2 kids. I've had half a dozen. So I'm breaking the stereotype that I want more, you know. If you've had a bunch of kids already, it can be a stereotype that, well, why isn't she taking care of the nieces and nephews? Why isn't she or he taking care of grandkids? You know, so it's a stereotype that can be placed upon you without you asking that that you like kids more than you do. Okay. So I'm breaking that stereotype. Passive aggressively, this is what I'm saying by not calling. Number 42, when I'm not contacting the kids or the adults that's taking care of them. 42, I'm saying I am emotionally mature. Emotionally mature enough to make a powerful decision like this. People make it every day. People choose not to be aunties and uncles. People choose not to be grandparents. People choose not to be mothers and fathers. And some of them are emotionally mature. Okay. When I do not contact these children or the adults that have them, number 43, I'm passive aggressively respecting the law because there was legal threats made that if I continue to call, they would file a restraining order against me. Also, it goes back to number 1. Remember, I'm the non-felon. So it's a reason I ain't got no felony on me, because if you tell me not to contact you, I obey it. See, all them restraining orders and protection orders, all that bull crap not going to be on me, because I'm not contacting people that don't want to be contacted. You tell me one time you're going to file a protection order against me because I'm trying to say hello to the children and be in their life and, you know, give y'all a break when y'all go on vacation and babysit the children for you. That's all I was trying to do originally. You don't want my help. You threatening me legally. I'm out. So number 43, I'm passive aggressively saying, hey, I obey the law. Y'all gonna get your lawyer on me if I call again. I'm gonna leave you folks alone. I'll wait till the kids grow up. That's what I'm saying. Passive aggressively, I'm saying all of that. Also, I'm saying these niggas crazy. Okay, I'm saying that as well. Like, they done just messed up a babysitter that could help, you know, if they want to go on a vacation or something. So I'm getting out the situation. So number 43, when I don't contact these kids or the adults that's taking care of the kids, I'm saying passively aggressively, I respect the law. Number 44, when I don't contact these kids or the adults involved, passive aggressively, I'm saying it's all silly to me. This is silliness. I don't want to be involved in silliness. Not silly like it's funny, but it's just it's a unnecessary situation, and it's just a bunch of silliness and craziness to me. So 44, I'm saying I don't want to be involved in that situation. Number 45, when I don't contact the kids or the adults that's taking care of them. Number 45, I'm passive aggressively saying I do business things. I'm doing stuff like calling the light company, calling employers. I'm taking care of my business. I'm cleaning my residence. I'm on YouTube. I'm handling business things. And you don't want those kids to be part of my business. So I'm taking care of my own business. So passive aggressively, number 45, that's what I'm saying. Number 46, I'm passive aggressively saying this when I don't contact the kids or the adults. I'm saying I do not want to interrupt another Scorpio's narcissism. Okay. He said no. Scorpio tell me no, I take no. When a Scorpio tells you no, you won't have a bad outcome. So I'm passive aggressively saying to a fellow Scorpio, I'm not going to be a part of, and I do not want to interrupt your current narcissism that's going on. Your lack of emotional empathy for me as the kid's relative, and you don't want me involved. Let me not interrupt that, sir, because the Lord will interrupt it. See, I don't need to interrupt it, right? So, Scorpios are a very karmic sign, so I don't need to interrupt another Scorpio's narcissism because it may benefit me. Okay, I'm going to reap the benefits of his narcissism because I'm a Scorpio. Y'all might not understand how that works, but really, I'm gonna keep it real. Scorpio men, the things they do to harm a Scorpio lady, it usually benefits us. Maybe not right at that moment, but later it will. I am reaping the benefits of the bad things that Scorpios have done to me, and it's not a bad thing. These men are giving me my freedom. They are. That's what they really was doing the whole time. And I love it. Let them keep freeing me. So I'm not going to interrupt another Scorpio's narcissism. Because when a Scorpio man has lack of empathy for me, I'm going to benefit from it. And it's because the Lord controls me. See, while a Scorpio man is trying to control my outcome, the Lord is controlling me. So I understand that. So now, since I really can appreciate what they're doing, I don't want to interrupt it. I don't want to interrupt it. So that's what I'm saying passive aggressively. When I don't call these kids, I'm saying, hey, Scorpio, I'm not interrupting your narcissism, right? But also, I'm acknowledging at the same time that there is a lack of empathy that this Scorpio male has for me. And all Scorpio males will have this for me because I leave them. Okay, so it's kind of like they have like this forever grudge because I left town. I beat their motherfucking ass before the divorce. All Scorpio males, they have this lifelong vengeance against me because I left they funky asses. Okay, so I don't want to interrupt that narcissism. Okay, so number 47, when I don't contact these kids or the adults that are their caregivers or custodians, Number 47, I'm passive aggressively saying, I don't feel like these people love me at all. I don't feel the love coming from these people, and I'd rather not involve myself with people that don't love me for real. Because I like being around people that love me and people that have emotional empathy for me, people that at my worst moment would embrace me, hug me, and treat me kind. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna give kudos right here to when the funeral was going on in Texas. I'm gonna give kudos and props to the pastor that hugged me and that showed love to me. Okay. So 47, passive aggressively, I'm saying these people do not love me. And in my silent thoughts, I may feel like they are not loving people in general. So I don't want to be involved. I'm passively aggressively saying, I don't think these people love me. Let me leave these people alone. These kids that I contact, they may not love me as well. And it's not from a low self-esteem perspective. It's from a logical perspective of the fact of how they showed they don't love me. When that lady threatened to bash my head in, she don't love me. She just doesn't. That's not love. So, number 48, when I don't contact these kids or the adults that have these kids or taking care of these kids, number 48, I'm passive aggressively saying they live out of state. So I'm also saying I'm more concerned about what's going on in the state that I live. So in some sense, I'm just saying, y'all out of state, I live in another state. It might not work anyway. Who cares? I'm acknowledging that there's such a great distance that it may be a stalemate anyway. Okay. So that's 48. Passive aggressively, I'm saying where I'm at and what's going on in the state I'm in is my priority. And also number 48, I may passive aggressively be saying that I'm struggling here. And it's things I need to take care of, things I struggle with, and I just want to take care of what's going on here. That's number 48. Number 49, when I don't contact the kids or the adults that have the kids, I'm saying I am brave because I understand that some people would easily become ensnared in the mess. So I'm also understanding my bravery in it. I'm making a decision a lot of relatives wish they could make, but I'm brave enough to make it without caring what someone else thinks of me. Even the sister that called to confront me about it, I don't care what she think. I appreciate her confidence in me, and I appreciate her wanting me to be around the kids. That was nice of her, very godly. However, I am brave. I am a brave lady, and I'm preventing ensnarement. I'm staying out of mess. And I'm brave enough to be confident in my decisions. Okay. So I'm passive aggressively saying I am brave, not weak. It is my bravery and my courage that keeps me not contacting these children or the caregivers that take care of them. It's not a weakness, even if it's perceived to the sister that contacted me or anyone else involved. Long as I know I'm making a brave move. It's a brave move because not contacting these people, I'm avoiding a lot of narcissism. And one of the prior things I named, I also said, the kid's probably going to grow up to be narcissists anyway. So I'm preventing ensnarement, like HD Tudor would say, preventing ensnarement. So number 50, when I'm not contacting the kids or the adults that have them, number 50, I'm saying I'm a decision maker. I'm a leader. I am making a decision, sticking to it, and I'm doing what I prefer to do. I come first, not those children. Those are not my children. Okay. May these children be blessed. I will continue to keep these children And I will add the adults that are taking care of them in my prayers. So that's what I can do. I can go to the Lord and pray for these children and the adults. But I have given you 50 reasons and 50 passive aggressive things of why I am not contacting the children or their caregivers. So, like I said, if you want to be a police, a detective, you want to get in law, understand passive aggressive language, and it will prevent you from using your emotions and asking people questions that could actually be a violation of their boundaries. If this sister understood passive aggressive language and she put more thought into it, she would not have asked me, why aren't I contacting these children? It's not logical to ask somebody why they not contacting somebody and you know it got violent. It's also showing that you are not equipped or you don't understand domestic violence awareness. I understand domestic violence awareness. I understand how easy it is for any foundation of violence to turn into people going to the penitentiary, getting killed or seriously harmed. And none of this is fair to be happening in front of those children. I do not entertain people that get violent with me. The children, they can contact me when they grow up. I will not deny the children. If the children called me right now, I will not deny the children. I'm not going to hang up on the children, but I cannot call and I will not call. And it is not wise to contact those adults anymore to talk to those children, because all I'm doing is bringing stress to those adults. And it's too many people I could contact and I'm not bringing stress to them. Y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video and understand passive aggressive language. I'm in agreement with the brother. He told me last year, Irene, you're very passive aggressive. He says you're assertive. So I'm in agreement with it. I'm in agreement with it. So I'm telling you and teaching you what a very skilled and seasoned passive aggressive speaker, because they're speaking to you. They're saying volumes without saying it. Okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I gave you 50 things. Okay. 50 things of an example of what's being said in a passive aggressive way. Before you ask a question, when someone's not calling you, determine what their personality is. Even number one on the list. What was number one on the list? I'm a non-felon. Put that in your repertoire. I'm a non-felon. Consider that when I don't make contact. You got to say, she's a non-felon. She ain't never been to the penitentiary. These people got violent with her. She's saying passive aggressively, ain't nobody getting me in prison. Also, I'm saying I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to kill nobody. And that's where threats and fights lead to homicides, serious injury, hospitalizations, penitentiary sentences. Avoid it at all costs. I'll add a bonus one on here. I am continuously, number 51, this is the bonus one. I am continuously protecting myself from narcissists and psychopaths. I don't want the outcome and the end result that comes with being around narcissists and psychopaths. I don't want it. I do not want it at all. Also, number 52. Oh, this is what the sister told me, y'all. Not only is she not reading passive aggressive language, this number 52. She said, but you deserve it. I said, oh, but I don't. I don't deserve it. So, what I'm saying passive aggressively when I wasn't contacting the kids or the adults, number 52, I'm saying I do not deserve the treatment. I'm a little confident, y'all. Yes. I have determined that I have some sweet nature about me, and I do not deserve to be talked to and threatened in that way. And I said, I don't deserve it, sis, because I'm not threatening them first. She got quiet. Passive aggressively, she's saying, yeah, I get your point on that, sis. So 52, passive aggressively, I'm showing a confidence that someone that's an abuse victim isn't showing. Number 53, I'm passive aggressively saying, I'm not abuse victim material. Y'all got to go find somebody else. So when I don't contact the kids or the adults involved, number 53, I'm saying I'm not abuse victim material. Y'all got to try to get another one. Number 54, I'm giving some bonus ones here. I'm also, when I don't contact the kids or the adults, I'm passive aggressively saying I don't like to be treated that way. 54, I'm showing my preference for the treatment that I like. I like kind people and logical people and good people. I'm saying I don't like those kind of people. I don't like to be treated that way. I don't like craziness. Number 55, I will end it with this. Number 55, I am passive aggressively saying that I'm currently not around abusers. I'm also kind of giving you an idea of my current environment. Number 55, when I don't contact these kids or their caregivers, I'm saying currently I'm being treated pretty nice. And I think that being in that situation contradicts my current environment. I like the nice people I'm around, the church people, the Muslims, the Catholics, the Buddhists, and all the other people that don't take on a religion at all. Number 55, I'm saying I'm being treated fairly nice. And contacting those kids or the adults involved is not in agreement with my current living situation and my environment. I'm saying that as well. Number 55, I'm saying that ain't how I roll. I don't mess with them kind of people. I'm saying all of that passive aggressively. Hopefully this helped y'all to understand passive aggressive language. Okay. And like I said, this will help you if you want to like get in detective work, policing work, law enforcement. You want to be better in your personal life. You want to avoid narcissists. You want to be the person that reads the passive aggressive language somebody says and don't call them and ask the question. I just equipped you on game. You can be the sister or brother that doesn't call and ask why they not contacting the kids. Because I just told you why they're not contacting the kids or these adults. Also, another bonus one I'll add. The Scorpio apologized the end of last year. He apologized. It was kind. He apologized. But I'm also showing that no, you can apologize, but no, you've already told me what's on your heart. You let a lady threaten to bash me in my head, dog. I don't know if you really could apologize for that. That lady never apologized to me. She sure didn't. And that man that she with, he ain't making her apologize. Those are my enemies, y'all. Stay away from enemies. You will live out your days if you stay away from enemies. Please like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully you enjoyed. This will be under my passive aggressive playlist. Understanding passive aggressive language. I've created a playlist. So this will be under there, y'all. It sure will. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me see. Any questions before I leave the chat? Any questions? Let me see. Let me check the chat. So someone says, Subhan says, do you know The Wrong Song by Chris Gray? Do you sing that song, please? No, I don't know anything about that song. Yeah, I don't know anything about that song. I appreciate the chats in here. Let me see. We had a troll in here, y'all, that was just, doing the wrong thing here. He stopped, and I appreciate that. Some people ain't trying to learn nothing, y'all. They really not. Most people that come in here from another country, they're very, they're usually kind, right? And again, Desmond Calvert, 822, thank you for telling me what he was doing when he was typing out those 67s. So I'm very grateful for you for, and then, Mark Pajada, he apologized. So it's fine. So Itzy or ZZ, Loon 4, thank you for saying you're back. It's _Loon 4, thank you for coming back. I thank everyone that left a chat in the live. I appreciate it so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully this video on understanding passive aggressive language, I gave you 55 ways I'm being passive aggressive. And you know what? With passive aggressive people, they when I was talking to the sister, I'm only going to give her a couple of reasons why I was doing it, right? Because it's keeping it short. She ain't got 2 hours to sit and listen to 55 reasons. But I did mention the violent threats, and I don't want to be involved in domestic violence and stuff like that. I just don't want to be involved. I don't trust that they'll be nice if I call again, stuff like that. So understand with passive aggressive people that 1 or 2 reasons that they're giving you why they're backing out of something, actually there's many reasons that they're not even mentioning, but those reasons you have to figure out by understanding nature and their character. And I gave you an example in the beginning of how a seasoned police officer, how he was able to get me to admit that I had a relative in my garage that he had a felony warrant for. How did he get me? He got me with that number 1. I'm a non-felon. That's all you got to do to scare me. If you the police and you a seasoned detective, threaten me. Tell me within 24 hours, I'm going to be charged with a felony. Hey, he in the garage. He right in that corner too. Okay. Yeah. So that's basically how that is. I gave you the reasons. I'm teaching you about passive aggressive language. I also will be doing some lives, and I will be actually taking a video of an interrogation that a detective was doing, and I will be interpreting the passive aggressive language that he's using, and it'll help you. I'm gonna constantly learning passive aggressive language will help you with employment. It will help you with knowing which relatives to get out of your life, which relatives to bring in your life. It will help avoid narcissists. If you want to go in the field of law, it's important for you to learn passive aggressive language. I gave you 55 things that I'm passive aggressively saying by not calling these kids or these adults. 55 reasons. Come here and learn, because I'm the passive aggressive expert. The gentleman was not wrong. And I do not have to be a narcissist to be passive aggressive. Okay? Don't interpret, oh, this must be a narcissist. No, because I'm not using it actively to get a 30-year revenge on anybody. It's not coming from a bad place in the heart. It's coming from what I have a right to do, protect myself and respect others. Okay? I named some of the reasons are coming from a soul of respect there. I'm not these children's custodian caregivers. I don't have custody of these children. I don't. Okay? So I gave you the 55 reasons. I only had 50 for you, but I gave you 5 bonus reasons. Okay? So understand passive aggression, passive aggressive language from the expert here. Welcome back to Advanced Insight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more. Thank you. Bye.